Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, December 6, 2021. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Decision on new GCOM CEO likely to be determined by vote among commissioners. Harvard commits to supporting low-carbon development strategy following President Ali's keynote address. All adults now eligible for COVID-19 booster shots. 2 months later, family of 9-year-old accident victim renews calls for justice, and a sacrifice in the name of tourism, the story of Claude Benjamin. Now for the news in detail. The Guyana Elections Commission today conducted interviews with 2 applicants for the position of Chief Elections Officer, but the successful candidate for the job is likely to come down to a voting process among the commissioners. Here is Gerald Bryan with our lead story tonight.
Today, former GCOM Deputy CEO Vishnu Prasad and former Jamaican electoral official Leslie Harrow were interviewed for the position of GCOM Chief Election Officer. The interviews were conducted before the 7-member commission, during which the candidates were asked questions and tested on their electoral knowledge of Guyana. Based on their responses, the candidates will be scored by each commissioner. These score sheets will now have to be submitted by each commissioner to GCOM Chair, retired Justice Claude Singh. It is understood that GCOM will have a further meeting on Tuesday at 1300 hours. According to a source, the decision on the next CEO is likely to come down to a vote. All that is left now, the source further explained, is for Harrow and Prasad to submit their academic certificates to GCOM. In the meantime, the appointment of a deputy CEO for GCOM is likely to also be addressed at Tuesday's meeting. The person hired will fill the vacancies left by former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield and his former deputy Roxanne Myers. They, along with former returning officer Claremont Mingo, were fired from GCOM in August following a vote by the commission. They are also before the court on electoral fraud charges. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Immediately following Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali's keynote address to Harvard Business School's virtual Microeconomics of Competitiveness workshop, the institution pledged its support for Guyana's ambitious development trajectory, as outlined by the head of state. Here is Gerald Bryan again with this report.
The Harvard Business School's virtual Microeconomics of Competitiveness workshop included representatives from 120 institutions around the world. During his address to the attendees, President Dr. Irfan Ali detailed his government's development plans. He spoke about the government's renewable energy plans, strategy for agro-processing, infrastructure goals, and the housing program. President Ali also made an appeal to the universities to partner with Guyana, particularly when it comes to the Low Carbon Development Strategy, LCDS.
We'll establish an international center for biodiversity research. And this is linked to the improvement of our competitiveness, dealing also with human capital, research and development, and innovation as part of what we will offer globally. To achieve this, we are seeking partnership with universities and research organizations to make this a cutting-edge center of excellence with focus on ecosystem services, forests, biodiversity, watersheds. At this point, I wish to extend to Harvard University and a network of universities and research organizations in attendance today to work with us in this area of ecosystem service as we move to implement LCDS 2030.
The president recalled the way in which Guyana was able to forge an international partnership with Norway on the LCDS.
In the first LCDS, we incentivized our standing forests. We partnered with the Kingdom of Norway to establish a payment for forest climate service model, a model which worked and where Guyana earned over US $200 million in forest climate services. In November 2021, prior to attending Glasgow Climate Conference, I launched the LCDS 2030, which sets out how we continue to incentivize forests, but more importantly, to broaden our efforts to wider ecosystem services, biodiversity, watershed, etc.
Meanwhile, Director for Harvard Business School's project in Guyana, Dr. George Ramirez Valejo, committed the institution to supporting Guyana's LCDS agenda.
Thank you very much for sharing the potential of Guyana and what you and your team have done so far, and also what you are planning to do. I mean, these actions and plans demonstrate a huge commitment to creating an inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous Guyana. President Ali, we are committed to supporting your work through the GDI and the Institute for Strategy and Competitiveness at HBS. And we're also willing to collaborate in helping identify and exploring the opportunities to shape and advance projects within the LCDS agenda, projects within the ecosystem service landscape. We look forward to continuing to support you. And
in October, President Ali was invited by Harvard to speak to the microeconomic workshop on the government's developmental plans for Guyana. Representatives from over 120 faculties in more than 65 countries, including the University of Guyana, attended the president's keynote address. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
With Ghanaian Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia in Guyana on a 3-day visit, President Dr. Irfan Ali has underscored the importance of the private sector as both countries push to deepen relations. Amar Prasad tells us more.
Ghanaian Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia arrived in Guyana on Saturday for a 3-day visit to advance bilateral cooperation. On Sunday, he was hosted by Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali at a dinner at State House, which was attended by international diplomats and other dignitaries. During brief remarks at the event, the Guyanese head of state spoke about the rapid advancement of the Guyana-Ghana relationship since the two presidents encountered on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly earlier this year. The two countries officially established diplomatic relations on May 14, 1979.
Immediately after that meeting, a timetable of action was established, with the Vice President of Guyana leading a delegation to Ghana, and now a return visit from the Vice President of Ghana leading a delegation to Guyana. But importantly, partnership, the strategic outlook. And today, this is what these two governments are subscribing to do. Collaborating with each other, setting a framework that will allow a smooth flow for our private sector and for our government services.
Guyana has already offered to provide support to Guyana in the area of oil and gas. Guyana has already been producing and exporting crude oil since 2011, having discovered the resource in commercial quantities back in 2007. Guyana began producing oil in December 2019 in the Stabroek Block offshore, where there is said to be some 9 billion barrels of oil equivalent. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
Hours of locked horns between the opposition and government sides at the Public Accounts Committee on Monday resulted in a decision to merge the 2017 and 2018 audit reports for better scrutiny. Here is Amar Prasad again with the details.
The decision to merge the 2017 and 2018 audit reports was taken by PAC Chairman Jermaine Figueroa, a move which was heavily opposed by government officials on the basis that the reports should be properly scrutinized. Opposition committee members were initially arguing for the years 2017 to 2019 to be consolidated. Government Chief Whip and Governance Minister Gail Teixeira argued that the committee must properly comb through the concerns raised in these reports to provide answers and ensure accountability. She noted that in the bid to clear the backlog which currently exists, this process should not be rushed.
I understand the issue that the members are raising about haste and getting through the 3 reports. But it is also our responsibility to do what is correct. And so 2016 report, we now have work to do with compiling a report that reflects our concerns, whether by sector or by general recommendations, general observations. And so we have to do that. This is not finished as yet. And so we are playing as if it seems as if, I should say, that the issue of getting the reports done is just, okay, we've done 2016, we can move on to 2017. We haven't finished 2016 report.
However, opposition member David Patterson opined that they are competent enough to cover all three reports at once through the merger.
This is not a uncommon, it is only desirable, but it's not an uncommon challenge that has faced PSC in the past, previous PSCs in the past, sir. They have, for whatever reason, sir, there have been times when the work of the PSC has been some years behind. I have in my possession copies, sir, it was done 7 times, combined reports, whereby PSC would have combined reports for of the audit office in a matter to address the backlog.
Nevertheless, a decision was taken after consulting with the Auditor General, Deodat Sharma, who suggested that the committee consider merging 2 years instead of 3. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Coming up, all adults now eligible for COVID-19 booster shots, and Rose Hall Town businesses continue to defy police efforts to restore order. Do stay with us.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and you could win one Amazon Fire tablet every day. Yes, every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $500,000 to spend in the store. Just imagine, $500,000 to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So shop now at John Lewis Styles to win one Amazon tablet every day and $500,000 to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply
You hungry?
Yeah. No, I'll make something for us. So where are the spices?
Oh, in the drawer.
Wow, all these spices! Cardamom? Cumin seeds?
Yes. Cooking is now made easier with Indie's new line of spices.
And they even have smoked paprika.
That and many more, all in convenient sized bottles.
Lucozade Energy! Lucozade has 2 delicious new flavors, but only one can stay. Team Citrus Chill. Team Berry Crush. Vote now on Instagram or Facebook by uploading a video or picture of your favorite flavor and tagging Lucozade. It's up to you which flavor stays. There are over 500 prizes to be won. See press and social media for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything. all the decorations and lights. Bring on all the Christmas goodness. And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill, or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
Fully charged up with turbo. Black Buckle Energy, yo, turbo. Lift up the party with turbo. Uptown, downtown, taste sweet, real smooth, last long, power down with turbo.
Over $2 million in cash and prizes to be won in the Turbo Energy Drink Charge My Ride promotion. Grand prize of a Honda CBR 250. Just purchase 2 bottles of Turbo Energy Drink and visit the Turbo Instagram at turbo_Caribbean for more details.
Fully charged up with turbo.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the 2 most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The Ministry of Health has announced that as of December 6, 2021, 2 more persons who were tested positive for the novel coronavirus have died. This takes the total number of deaths from the pandemic to 1,008. The latest fatalities are a 71-year-old man from Region 3 who was fully vaccinated and an 83-year-old man from Region 4 who was unvaccinated. Meanwhile, the country has recorded 57 new cases of the virus, taking the total positives recorded to date to 38,217. There are 17 persons in the ICU, 52 in institutional isolation, 872 in home isolation, and 4 in institutional quarantine. Recoveries stand at 36,268. Rupasina Ryan joins us now to report that the Health Ministry has now made booster doses, currently being rolled out in the vaccination campaign, available to all adults in efforts to ensure every citizen is afforded an opportunity to properly protect themselves against the novel coronavirus and its variants. Here's more.
In Guyana, some 2,274 persons have already taken their booster dose of a COVID vaccine. Initially, only health workers, persons over the age of 50, or those with comorbid conditions were eligible for the shot. But this has now changed as of Monday to include anyone 18 years and above.
Those persons who have received their second dose, but now we're almost 6 months after the second dose, they can come back and get a booster dose.
Vaccination statistics show that 738,995 vaccine doses have been administered in Guyana. A breakdown for the adult population reflects 403,537 first doses and 282,567 second doses. This means 55.1% of this cohort is fully vaccinated. For children, there is a 29,458 first doses or 40.4% coverage, along with 20,659 or 28.3% for second doses. Active cases have reduced to 1,018 across the country, the majority of which are in Region 4 with 427, Region 6 with 261, and Region 3 with 148. Since the pandemic, 10 children have died from the virus.
Most of the children, the way that COVID works or how you get sick is that eventually get into your lungs and cause COVID pneumonia, if you like. And that can result in a lot of breathing difficulty, which would then cause the children to die. Most of them develop this, of course, and that's one of the reasons why they die. But a lot of these children had varying underlying conditions, some of them very specific. They were ailing with those conditions for some time now. And when they got infected with COVID, it accelerated their disease condition, resulting in them dying.
To maintain the trend of reduced infections and deaths, the health minister reiterated that Guyanese need to be cautious during the holiday period. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Some businesses in Rose Hall Town Region 6 have refused to cooperate with law enforcement officers to ensure that the main thoroughfare is free from encumbrances. Some removable advertising signs are placed close to the main access roads, which affect the smooth flow of traffic on a daily basis. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has the details.
Hire car operators have complained bitterly about the inconvenience they face from day to day. This, they claim, has forced them to stop in awkward spots to collect and drop off passengers. In some cases, they are charged for reckless driving. Only recently, a campaign was held in the town which saw senior officers from the Wim police station meeting with business owners responsible for the signs and also who display their goods on the roadway. The businesses were ordered to remove the illegally placed signboards and cautioned of the danger of the offense of having signboards along the main access road. However, the exercise was followed by another visit during which business owners complained of hire car operators parking their vehicles in front of their businesses, thus blocking customers from gaining entry to their stores. During a visit to the location on Saturday, hire car operators held out that they do not have places to stop, especially when customers flag them down. This is primarily due to the signs being placed on the roadway by businessmen. When contacted, Public Relations Officer of the Region 6 Road Safety Council, Leon Faria, expressed disgust, saying that a campaign to educate persons and to remove signboards from the roadway was held on the quarantine last Friday.
And we're hoping that some of these business owners can just comply, because you cannot occupy the encumbrance on any roadway. Okay? These are government reserve, and likewise you have several hire car drivers who are complaining that there's no place for them to stop to put off a passenger. There's no parking space. Whenever in front of any business places there are signs protruding on the roadways. So I'm asking the Commander B, Mr. Ramlakan. I'm asking the OC Traffic, Mr. Ron Clark, and all the divisional OC to take note that persons are violating the laws of the road. And such, we're asking them to comply.
Faria, who approached one business person on the issue, said he was told by the person they were not going to remove the signs which were placed on the roadway until all of the other business persons comply. A source close to the traffic department explained that many erring business persons rely on political contacts and make the job of traffic officers even more difficult.
Road safety doesn't have any politics, and this ought not to be a political issue. This is supposed to be one where business people and all other category of business men, vendors, or whoever, to comply with the laws.
In footage captured by this newscast on Saturday, Faria sought to get the assistance of a police officer to remove encumbrances, but he was unsuccessful. The officer simply walked away. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Family members of a 9-year-old Carlesia Lewis on Saturday evening held a vigil at the scene where her life was snuffed away, calling for justice to be served as the driver, who is reportedly responsible for her death, roams free. Here is Andrew Carmichael again with this story.
9-year-old Clarissa Lewis was killed on October 1st, 2021 by a motor vehicle driven by a man who was not paying attention to the roadway. He was reportedly arguing with someone in the vehicle when he veered off of the road and ran over Lewis in front of her Islington, Greater New Amsterdam Region 6 home. However, after weeks have passed and the driver was not charged, friends and relatives of the child gathered at the scene of the accident and sang hymns and reflected on her life. The dead child's father, Carlton Lewis, told the Evening News that life has been difficult since the passing of his daughter.
It's over 2 months, couple days, and we ain't getting nowhere with the story. We ain't see the driver for the vehicle, the family. They ain't come forward, they ain't come and tell us anything, and also the police, we ain't getting nothing properly out of the police. And we just want to know that we lost human, not a dog, you know, because right now the country fighting for a dog, and I ain't hearing nothing.
Meanwhile, her mother, Adacia Lewis, related that each night when the family spends time together, it is difficult to do so without her daughter.
Home, everybody together. We can't have Carly, so when we're going out and stuff. And it's been real hard on us, real hard. Because as for me, at the day of the accident, I didn't see the person. And up until now, I still didn't see this person. So I don't know what this person looked like that killed my child. I'm not hearing from the family, or not even he come forward and say, well, okay, I'm sorry, you know.
When last you reached out to the police?
I reached out to the police like 2 weeks ago.
And what happened then?
Well, he told me that DPP sent back the file because the doctor didn't complete it as the way he should. So DPP sent it back, and the doctor had to complete the file and send it.
Police had issued a statement that the 9-year-old was struck down and killed by a motor car after she ran across the road, but it was refuted by the child's siblings, who claim that they saw what transpired. Her siblings are claiming that the child had crossed the road in the company of a neighbor after the neighbor went into her yard. Clarissa was walking on the parapet when the CVR veered off the road and hit her and stopped, with the infant being crushed under the vehicle.
Whatsoever go wrong, you make it right. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Let justice prevail.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Over a decade ago, a Rupununi native followed his desire to work in the tourism industry and landed all the way in Region 7 at the Sloat Island Nature Resort. That man is Claude Benjamin, who does not regret making the sacrifice. Let's take a look at this story.
Living here or staying here on Sloat Island or working here on Sloat Island in an environment like this, surrounded by nature, it's one of the best things I ever come across to.
Claude Benjamin, a manager and tour guide at the Sloat Island Nature Resort, is very appreciative of living on the breathtaking island. In fact, it was his longing to work in the tourism industry that led him to the island years ago. Benjamin related to the Evening News that this move meant he would have to leave his family behind for intermittent periods. However, the 35-year-old is committed to making it work.
The reason why I came here, it's because of work, and I really wanted to be a part of the tourism business sector. So I seek for employment with Dagran Tours, and that's where I get attached to Sloat Island and working with the tourism. By staying away from home, and working here, it's quite a long distance, yes. So of course, at times you would miss your family, you would miss your children. So during the holidays, I would send for them to come and spend their time with me here at Sloat Island.
When any other staff is asked, they would tell you that Claude is the man who knows the most about the island. But this knowledge has not come overnight for the tour guide.
On Sloat Island here, it has a lot of plants, useful plants, medicinal plants, lots of birds and animals. Yes, but it requires, I did a lot of self-studies here, a lot of research, so that's where I know and I get to learn the plants that are useful around us here.
While Benjamin is quite versed in all things Slot Island, he is now looking to apply his knowledge of the industry to his hometown in order to add to the Rupununi's tourism factor.
In the Rupununi, there are lots of tourism sites and sceneries, and I would like to continue, embrace the communities, like for example Aranaputa, to do more of the tourism in Aranaputa. So because there are lots of product there that people would like to go and see, and people, especially birds.
For the evening news, Jemima Holmes. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, December 7th at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, Suburb East River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, December 7th at 6 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Ireland to tour West Indies in January 2022 and year-end football tournaments underway this weekend. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking for fresh, tender, and flavorful meat? Then check out Rossignol Butchery for steaks, burgers, sausages, minced meat, fish, and chicken. For a tasty, attractive cocktail, we have a wide variety of packaged deli meats and cheeses to decorate your platter. We also stock a wide assortment of canned goods, seasoning salt, sauces, and marinade, all in a highly hygienic, welcoming atmosphere with warm and welcoming staff to cater to all your needs. Rossignol Butchery, we meet your needs. 73 to 74 Church Street, Georgetown. Telephone number.
That's a great start, powered by Yuasa Battery. Yuasa Battery is the #1 Japanese brand. It's durable, improves performance, maintenance-free, and comes with absorbent glass mat technology. Yuasa Battery, trusting starting power for over 100 years. Choose Yuasa Battery for the best battery for your vehicles. Yuasa Batteries, distributed by JCA Trading Inc. Telephone number 231-9446-9.
Wayne Pressure Pumps out of the U.S. is the ideal solution for your water woes. At Sylvie's Variety Store, we bring you the top line of automatic pressure tank pumps ideal for building offices and residential homes. Just turn on the faucet and pressure at your fingertips. The Wayne collection includes pool pumps, well pumps, and utility submersible pumps. Parts and accessories available. Sylvie's Variety Store, bringing you the quality you deserve every time.
Massey is by your side as we continue the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. In collaboration with OneCart, you can now get your groceries delivered, or you can pick up curbside. Call, email, or WhatsApp your order to us. This service is available at both Providence and Turkine locations. Delivery and pickup between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The fee is based on location. Orders must be paid in cash and placed 24 hours in advance. Special conditions apply. Remember to always protect yourself and those around you by wearing your masks. Also, don't forget to wash your hands and maintain a distance of 6 feet at all times around persons. Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Over the years, ISG has been providing all sectors across Guyana with quality products and outstanding customer service. Proud distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, engineered for tropical conditions. International trucks and parts, leading the change. SEM Machinery, a Caterpillar brand. SKF bearings and mounted products. Napa batteries. Tide power generators. Discover the greatest source of power. Industrial Supply of Guyana Inc. The best opportunity to make the right choice.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
When you're looking for superior aftermarket parts, where do you get the reliability and convenience to reduce downtime? The answer is Yellowmark, repair and replacement parts from Caterpillar, that is available only at MacCorp. Yellowmark was developed by Caterpillar, unlike cheap off-the-shelf aftermarket parts. At MacCorp, we will offer you helpful advice on identifying, finding, and installing the right Yellowmark part for your operation.
Yellowmark, for reliability and convenience at a lower cost.
Available at MacCorp.